What is up, beautiful readers? It's Sky, and we're back with another video. What is up, you guys? How is it going? We are here with another video, and I'm so excited about it because I will be wrapping up all of the books that I read for the month of July. And before we do that, of course, I am going to give you my stats with Storygraph. If you don't know what Storygraph is, it is a reading tracker, but it's different to Goodreads in the sense that it goes in depth on the stats of the books you read in terms of mood, star rating, pages, pacing. So I really like it. Being the type A personality, it hits all the boxes of like a detailed list, so I enjoy it. So looking at the month of July here, I read 8 books with a total of 3,004 pages. My top 3 moods were emotional, lighthearted, and mysterious. And I was 50-50 on pace. So 50% of the books, well, I guess out of the 8, 50% were fast-paced, 50% were medium-paced. And in terms of page number, 63% of the books were 300 to 500 pages long. Now, in July, I read all fiction. I shouldn't say that. I did read some nonfiction, I just didn't finish it, but all of the books I did finish in July were fiction. Okay. I always think Storygraph is pretty interesting in that it gives you those detailed stats, but now I'm going to go ahead and go into my reading tracker here. So I have a bullet journal and I keep detailed stats of my reading as well, just because I like to see it visually on my own and track it that way. So I'm going to go in order of ranking. So we're going to start with my 3-star reads, and the first book that we're going to talk about is Getting His Game Back by Gia D. Cadanet. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure the main character's name for the guy was Kareem. I could be wrong, but basically this story follows Kareem, and I want to say her name was Vanessa. You can tell this book really stuck with me. Editing Sky here. So the guy's name is actually Khalil, but the girl's name is Vanessa. So you know what? I'll take 50-50 on that. Good job. It's like a typical romance. She is an app developer. He owns his own barbershop, and it basically talks about how those two characters met. One day she needed to get her short hair trimmed, and she walked into his barbershop last minute, and then it goes from there. One thing I do kind of appreciate though about this book is the main guy character struggled with mental health, and as a result he basically was going to he did shut everybody out of his life, and it was kind of hard to read that, like just to see her and all of his friends go through that. There is like self-harm trigger warning, so it got a lot deeper than I expected. And I read it literally because there was a basketball hoop on the cover, and basketball is barely even the plot of this book. It's basically about them two and their relationship. It was sweet. It did get a little spicy there, but it wasn't too crazy, so it was okay. It's a 3-star read. I wouldn't recommend it. It was like watching a rom-com movie, but it was okay. The next 3-star read that I have is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I read this for a series that I'm hoping to do on my channel, which is I reread Twilight in my 30s. And yes, it was a 3-star because this book is like not life-changing, but I describe books like this like a warm blanket. You read them and you just feel comfortable. There's a nostalgia element to it. You know it's gonna happen. You know every single line. You can picture the movie at the same time. I had so much fun reading this, and you can tell because I wanted to like really annotate this and like enjoy my reading experience, but I got so caught up in the nostalgia and just like being in Forks and in this world again that I had a great time. I will say I forgot how annoying Bella was, but I really did just remind me how much I love Edward. He's just such a great character, and I had so much fun. There actually were some things that I forgot because the last time I read this was a few years ago, so it was a great time. I highly recommend reading like older books that we loved back in the day as more of an adult. You definitely get not only a deeper appreciation, but you kind of can see how silly we think when we're a teenager. We think some things are just so much bigger than they are. And yeah, it was just a great time. And so the next book I'm hoping to read is Midnight Sun. Will it happen? I don't know, but that's the plan. All right, the book that I rated 3.5 stars is Lore Olympus Volume 1. I wanted to reread this because Volume 2 came out in July. I still have not purchased or read Volume 2. For shame. For shame. For shame. But I love this. The art style is so cute, and I really personally enjoy Greek mythology retellings. I just have a soft spot in my heart for them ever since I read Percy Jackson a few years ago. So I read. When I can read a Greek mythology retelling, I'm all about it. So this is what I read, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a Hades and Persephone retelling, I think I said, and it's great. It's great. It's just a cute little romance. If you're into that sort of thing, if you like graphic novels, highly recommend. And the art style, chef's kiss. The next book that I have in terms of ranking is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I rated this 4 stars. So much fun. I don't know about you, but I love puzzle elements in my book. That's why I'm in a minority in the fact that I love the Gilded Wolves series. It's not called that, but it's by Roshni Chokshi. I've only read Gilded Wolves, mind you, but I love that book because there is a puzzle element in that. And this has that. It has a love triangle. It has a puzzle element. But what I like most about this is I kind of like not being able to trust the characters. What I mean by that is, of course, we have the main character who is Avery, but she gets introduced to this whole family of people, and during the book, you don't know who to trust. You don't know what's going to happen. And then there's like these, there's a lot of plot twists and like attacks on her life. So the stakes are somewhat high. And what's cool about this is Avery ends up getting an inheritance of a ton of money from this guy she has no clue about. And you know, the story pretty much picks up from there. The 3rd book actually comes out this month in August. I still have not read The Hawthorne Legacy, which is the 2nd book. And then the 3rd book, I believe, is called The Final Gambit. So this was fun. I highly recommend this. YA, like mystery, magical realism kind of, well, not really magical realism. There's just like, it's like a game element. A lot of people compare this to Knives Out, but I haven't watched that movie, so I don't know if that relation is actually realistic or like accurate, but it's fun. If you're looking for a book to fly through, this book is so easy to read, and the main reason it is because the chapters are like so short, like 5 to 6 pages short. So yes, highly recommend this. Super fun. Okay, then I read Where the Crawdads Sing for the first time this month, and I gave it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed my time reading this book. I did annotate it. I just annotated the parts that stuck with me, that had beautiful writing or like really good quotes. This world is captivating. I will say that her writing is so beautiful, Delia Owens, and she just has a way of really making you feel immersed in the setting. Now, I will say one thing that maybe makes this book, it wasn't necessarily a 5-star because of the ending. I don't know. I just feel like, but maybe that's what makes it so good, is you don't know how to feel at the end. Like, are you happy for the character? Are you not happy in like a weird, it's still not right kind of way? Like, she really makes you think about what happened and the actions of what took place. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil, but I will say, read it. And I did watch the movie in July as well, and it was so good. It definitely had that same atmosphere and vibe. You just felt immersed in the marsh of North Carolina. It was so great. I really, really loved it. And I wish that the books that... Does anyone else have that issue where you read books and then like character names they don't exist. Plot points, setting, I can remember pretty well. But character names, honey, it's a no for me. Anybody else? Kaya. I wish that the books that Kaya wrote about the marsh, in terms of like the insects and the fish and the birds and the vegetation, like I wish those were real, because they just sounded so beautiful, and then when you see them in the movie they just look cool, and I wish I could own them, but clearly they're fake and they don't exist. But highly recommend this. It was a good time. All right, I have 2 more books here, and they are my 5-star reads. So we're gonna talk about this, We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. I know, I rated this 5 stars. Why? I don't know. If you unsubscribe from this channel because I rated this book 5 stars, go right ahead. I don't blame you, because I still don't really know why I rated this 5 stars. Something about it just hit me in the feels. I think I just liked the nostalgia of it. I mean, I'm a hopeless romantic, and so the fact that the couple that I like ends up together in this, and the way that it wraps up, I really appreciate. I mean, the writing isn't like amazing. This book isn't life-changing. For me, it's just the nostalgia factor. I have not read these since high school, and I just loved it. I couldn't put it down. I had a great time. I know that's like a very unpopular opinion to rate this book 5 stars, because people think that it's so cliche maybe and just dumb, but call me naive and whatever you want. I liked it. I thought it was cute. 5 stars. The last book that I'm going to talk about, and my favorite book of the month, is The Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. I do not have my copy right now because I lent it to a friend, but it was so good. This book follows Roman and, oh my gosh, what is her name? Honestly, at this point, why do you watch my videos? Because what are we doing? Do you even read the book? Like, come on, girl, get it together. Grace. Oh my gosh. Hold on. This book follows Roman and Grace. Not me pretending like I just knew her name right off the bat. That's hilarious. We're gonna get into the review of the book. I just think that is so funny. Didn't even address that it took me like 30 seconds to look up her name. Just like went on with the clip like I knew what I was talking about. It's great. It's great. Roman is a high-profile artist in LA, and he like runs through assistants. He can't keep them at all. And Grace ends up getting hired to work for Roman through like a temp agency. She's only supposed to be there for 2 weeks, but it turns out like she is really helpful for Roman, and he likes having her around. And thus ensues this journey of 2 people with broken pasts. There is like trigger warnings for childhood trauma on both sides, but they end up getting to know one another and really just, I don't even know, like it's just so beautiful. But the coolest thing about this is that even though there is a possibility of a romance, like it's cool to see how both Grace and Roman in their own way come to find the Lord. And not only is their romance part of the story, but their relationships with God are a main part of the story. And to see Roman's growth from the beginning of the book to when you turn the page and end it is so beautiful, and it makes my heart just smile. And I appreciated this book so much for what it is. I will recommend it all the time. It really, Francine Rivers has a way of just getting you so invested and immersed also in her stories. And this book is like 500 pages, and I read it in less than 48 hours because I had to know what was going to happen. I couldn't put it down. I wanted the best for them, and I just feel like if I go to LA, I'm going to see his artwork, and I just wish I could say hi. You know, it's just like one of those things where the characters just really seep into your heart and mean a lot to you. And Francine Rivers does that a lot. Like pretty much every book that I've read from her, whether that's the Mark of the Lion series or Redeeming Love or this one, like the characters, Marcus and Hadassah and Julia, and it's just, they stick with you and you just love them. So yeah, if there's any book this month that I recommend you to read, it is that one. All right, friends, so that is going to be my July wrap up. Thank you guys so much for being here and for taking the time to watch this video. What was your favorite book that you read this month? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.